Cheetah, wasn't he? Peter Gunn's the new host on the Cheetahs. Jesus. I think Cheetahs still come on Saturdays, right? It come on Saturday mornings. My mother be on it. My mother be like, "Oh, this a new episode." I'm like, "What are you doing?" Hey, everybody. Good morning. It's almost time for Face the Facts. About to get set up here in a minute. Thanks for coming on. Here in the studio today. Yeah. Please share this broadcast if you can. If you would, please, ma'am, please, sir. Welcome to everybody who's new on, listening for the first time. Oh, what'd you say?
Before dawn and after dawn.
Oh, we talking about artificial intelligence today.
Because I want my life to be for a reason, not for a season.
Me, play my old faithful.
Is out. This is a book where
I was out one day and this guy was like, "Oh, what's up? I don't need it. How you doing? I don't need it." I was like, "I got a name, bro. I definitely got a name. And it ain't I don't need it. But I don't need it." Hey, little bits. Hey, Destin the Wind. What's going on? Hey, hey, Blossom. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please share this.
Well, I'm telling you this so that you can know that your story is possible.
Put my mic screen on.
Got arrested before Rosa Parks, months before, in the same city. And they said, "Well, she's too dark."
Talk about it, L.
She having a baby without being married. We can't rally around her.
Talk about it, L.
But she inspired Rosa Parks.
Hey, Miss Deb.
And the whole movie.
Thank you. I got a nose ring too. Where my nose ring at? Wait, show y'all my nose ring. Y'all see my nose ring? Cause y'all said, yeah.
Her writings were so perfect.
Oh, it's a fresh one. Little fresh pack. Sean, you put this new pack of wipes in here? Now I don't even have to ask for them no more. Oh, look at that. I got a little raise around here.
Or you can go to www.alsharpton.
Yeah. Clean it up.
alsharptonbooks.com. I was there yesterday.
Hey, Miss LaShonda. Yeah, the Saints need to know I don't play when it comes to the Rona. I'm not talking to myself, y'all. I'm talking to my producer, Sean. He messing with me.
I want to be a
got about 2 minutes left.
I got my book a few days ago.
I don't play with that, the Rona. All up in the studio and all that. I don't know who been here. I don't know what's going on.
In their house. Have your kids read.
My mouse.
People think only famous people make a difference. Everybody can make a difference.
Can't play with this stuff. Oh.
Everybody.
It's a lot going on.
Can be a right. Make sure you get this book. And Saturdays and Sundays, make sure you watch Politics Nation with Al Sharpton live on MSNBC at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Every weekend I have senators, congressmen, experts giving you the real deal, or I question you and come out and challenge them. You definitely need to read the book, and you need to watch Politics Nation every Saturday and Sunday on MSNBC.
We got a few seconds left.
If you're in the New York area, start.
Hey, Maurice. How you feeling?
Us at the Saturday Action.
Yes, we do. We need to do that like ASAP. I'm going to get with you today at the end of my day.
An Urban One radio station, minority controlled, and operated and serving the African American community for over 40 years.
The views and opinions of the guests that host you here on 1010 WOLB
are not necessarily those of the staff and management of Radio 1, its sponsors, or advertisers.
Hey! Oh! mom. Got plenty to show. That's fun. Hey, I've seen it before. You wanna hold my hand? Hey, Daryl. What's going on? Hey, what's up, Michael? Good morning. Hey. Oh, I see you, Sean. Give it to me. I don't need it. Hey. It's gonna be a very light show today, y'all. Nothing heavy. Hey, Lady B. I got an option. Oh, anybody in your mood? Hey. Hey. Don't be trying to fade me out. Hey. All right, I'm gonna come in. Sorry. Hey, Kevin. Good morning. Good morning to you. Listen, it's Thursday and it's time for Face the Facts with Kelly Vaughn. I am Kelly Vaughn. I'm here live with you in the Kathy Hughes studio at WOLB Baltimore, 10:10 a.m. Welcome to the show, and thank you guys for tuning back in. I have to say hi to everybody that's tuned in on Facebook Live. I love you guys so much. Someone commented and said, good morning to the Face the Facts family. That's what it's all about. So thank you guys for tuning in. Also want to say hello and welcome to everyone who is streaming live at www.wolbbaltimore.com. Thank you so very much for tuning in, having us during your workday, while you're riding in the car, while you're sweeping the floor, while you're mopping. I hope you are cleaning up. Because one thing I've noticed is that a lot of people have relaxed their cleaning methods. You know, when COVID-19 first came out, you know, there wasn't a dirty soul on the planet, right? You go in the store, you gotta do your hand sanitizer before you go in there. People's gloving up. You saw gloves all outside the store, you know, because when they would come out, they would take the gloves off and then they would go in and do the hand sanitizer again. And then they would Lysol down their steering wheel and, you know, they would wipe out their seats every day in their car. And I've noticed that coronavirus hasn't gotten any easier, but some of y'all have relaxed your cleaning standards. I know I'm talking to somebody out there. You've relaxed your cleaning standards. Look, now is not the time for you to go back to being as dusty as you were before COVID hit. I mean, we got some serious stuff going on. First, we had Delta. Then we had Omicron. Now they done combined the two. We got Deltacron. It's hard out here. All right. So I want you to go back to your mindset that you had when coronavirus first hit, that made you look like a clean person. Go back to that part. Let's get back. Let's normalize sanitizing our hands when we get back in our car. Let's go back to spraying down our groceries, okay? Because the Delta variant is a deadly variant. Omicron is not as deadly. It's really more contagious. Now we have the two of them that have merged. Now we have Deltacron, which means it's going to be a deadly, very contagious variant. And that's why everybody that you know, I mean, we all know somebody who is currently, you know, battling coronavirus. I've seen so many people that are attached to me, around me, that I know that are now infected. So go back to the clean standards that you had right when COVID hit, and we should make it to the other side together. Do you want to make an announcement? I know it's early because today is what, the 13th of January. Well, on January the 29th, that's Saturday, January 29th, we'll be doing another vaccination clinic at Art Church, located at 1263 East North Avenue. Oh, coronavirus. Baltimore, Maryland, 21202 from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. That is 1263 East North Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland, 21202. We will be doing vaccinations, all of them. So first shots, second shots, booster shots, flu shots, all of that we have. We will have available the two most popular ones. Why is it escaping my head right now? Moderna. Thank you, Sean. You wingman. That's who you are. Uh, Pfizer and Moderna. We have both of them available in all variations. So if you need or you have the want to get vaccinated, it's a good time to do it. You can come meet me, hang out with me for 1.30 seconds, 1 minute and 30 seconds, because I don't want to catch nothing. All right, we're gonna get down to our show today. Once again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let me see what Facebook Live is doing. Let me see. Oh, we got Lady B, we got Kevin, we got Carlton. Hey, good morning. Irvin, Daryl, Michael, LaShonda, Deb, Blossom, and Little Bits. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, for listening. Please share this on your pages. It's going to be an important conversation. So let me just bring our topic in. We already have somebody on the line. If you want to call in before you know the topic, I don't mind it. 410 481-1010. That's 410-481-1010. I told everybody on Facebook Live that this would be a very light show today. Feeling lighthearted. We had a heavy week. Definitely still praying for the family of Officer Holly. They really paid tribute to her in a major way. The city and the city officials and everything paid tribute to her in a major way. And you know what? While I'm talking about it, I have an issue. After the service was, I'm gonna get to my topic, but I gotta get, I gotta get this out. Listen, I watched the homegoing services, and then, hey Lionel, I sat back and watched the news, and then I sat back and watched the real news, aka Facebook. And we had people on there applauding our mayor for putting aside differences in the face of somebody who has oppressed him, talking about the governor. Let me tell you something. That's a paid position. They have to do that. I'm not applauding him for that. Well, he was going to go in there and have an attitude with him and roll his eyes at him at something that, our distinguished dignitaries were slated to be at. No, that's his job. You don't get no kudos for me for that. Be an adult. All right. All right. So I want to talk about for a moment artificial intelligence. And I know that the older demographic, they look at it, they scoff at it, they want to just pluck it to the side, they don't want to deal with it. But let me tell you something. You've got to keep up with the times. Because if you don't, some of those children that you poured your life into, they're not going to come back and show you how to work anything that's happening now. We see artificial intelligence every single where now. I went in Five and Below the other day. There are no more cashiers. You check yourself out. I mean, that's the only option that they give you. And if you are not keeping up with the technology, you're going to be left behind. Case in point. A lot of us, I always talk about it. Facebook was never meant, and don't take any offense, guys, but Facebook was never meant for the older demographic. It wasn't. It started out only for college students. You had to have a Kelly Vaughn at somewhere.edu to even log on to Facebook. So respectfully, I say, y'all not even supposed to be on there. But now that it's open to Lottie Dottie and everybody, as LY says all the time, we find that there are people on Facebook who don't quite understand what's going on. Case in point, a lot of you are participating in the 10-year challenge on Facebook. At first, we had the "What are you going to look like when you're older" challenge, where you would take one of your photos, put it through the Facebook app, and it would generate or regenerate an image that looks like you aged, right? So now we have the 10-year challenge, where you're supposed to go dig in the crates from a decade ago, take a picture, and post a present picture. Well, it's not safe. And I haven't participated in it because all that does, you guys, is help with Facebook's face recognition service. You are literally giving them a springboard to look back 10 years at what you used to look like. Bring it full circle to present. And then eventually they're going to run that app again where they generate a photo that looks like you in the future. We're talking about artificial intelligence. If you don't believe in AI, look at the fact that all of our children, we're able to run full schools 100% virtually. Artificial intelligence. And what happens when a household does not have access to internet? They send you home with a hotspot so that you can have access to our internet. And what some people are doing is they're not just putting their child's laptop on there. They're putting other home devices on there, giving the government access to what happens in your house. Now, a lot of people talk about this and they talk about a conspiracy theory. I'm not here to talk about any conspiracies surrounding it. I'm just bringing the topic up so that you'll all be aware of it. We're going to take a call now from Brother Leo. But if you want to call in on this subject, the phone number to call is 410-481-1010. That's 410-481-1010. Let me know what you think about this. Now, we're going to move into the portion where we talk about how this affects the upcoming generation. But first, let's hear from Brother Leo. Brother Leo, you're on Face the Facts. Good morning. Brother Leo?
Good morning. Good morning, Sister Kelly Bone. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. I just want to comment on this topic. I believe in what you're saying to the extent that we should try to keep up. I don't keep up to the extent that I need to keep up.
That's right, Sean.
However, I must say that
Nisi, you're right.
The implementation of technology and artificial intelligence has we can play a part in not allowing it to come into being and destroy our lives. We can slow it down in some situations. I'll give you a case in point. I heard you mention self-checkout. And I'm concerned that when I go to certain supermarkets and other places, that there's a line for self-checkout, and they've fired cashiers because they have self-checkout, so people who had jobs no longer have jobs. Now, maybe we can't control all of that process, but we need to let the corporations know that if we're impacted negatively, then they have an obligation, and we have an obligation to force them to train and retrain at no cost to working people, new job titles, new job areas of security, new employment places or placement, if you see where I'm going with that. Do you understand what I'm saying? Huh?
I understand.
That sometimes we blindly accept the technology as being valid, and sometimes technology can be detrimental as well as advantageous. For example, in the medical field, technology can be great, again, but we've got to, you still seek those second opinions before you allow your doctors to tell you what you must do in light of the robot that's going to operate on you. So we still have a voice, and we need to balance what is coming down the pipe from the technocrats with what we know to be common sense. And if we don't hold the line and we don't demand a impact statement, in other words, how is the new technology affecting my ability to live and or die? If we don't question that, then we might die a little sooner.
Mm.
And believe me, the people who make money in this capitalistic society, they don't give a damn how quickly we die because we're just cannon fodder. They just want to make some more money off of our backs. So sometimes artificial intelligence is akin to slavery, and we've got to look at the pros and cons as to how it's implemented and how quickly it's implemented in ways that will help or hurt us.
Word of the day, technocrats. Yes, thank you so much, Brother Leo. And yeah, Daryl on Facebook says the word of the day is technocrats. I love it. Well, I mean, as we continue our discussion into it, Brother Leo made some pertinent points. However, I feel like we are a little behind. For instance, I mentioned before, Five and Below. Well, there is no option to go to a real person. And not in the one I was in. And that one was in Owens Mills. There's no option to go to a human. You're going to check out there. And they have fine-tuned it. Remember when they first came with the self-checkout stand? And it would just like really blast you in the middle of the store, like, please return all items to the bagging area. Well, they fine-tuned that now. And they've worked on it now to where as though more and more stores, I can go in any given Giant and there might be one or two humans checking people out. But the whole entire self-checkout area is open and bustling. And so this is some of the things we need to be mindful of. I did get got on Facebook and someone said, the government already has photos of everyone who has a driver's license and an ID. And that even extends to our children who now need state IDs for youth sports. That is very true. But in conjunction with apps like Facebook, they are also collecting information there, even on extended family members who may not even have social media, but you've posted their images on social media. So we have that part of it. The other part of it comes down to the fact that this is creating a culture of people who will no longer want to deal with humans. And this is something that's happening right now, right here, in my age bracket, in my demographic. I have so many friends who will go and pick up some food. Matter of fact, I know somebody right now. They never call the place. They never actually go in. They will Grubhub to their heart's content. And they have a working vehicle. They have the time. They may even pass the place on the way home. But they prefer to use the app to order, pay. And now with Grubhub, DoorDash, and other things, you don't even have to see the person. You can tell them to drop it right on your steps. Wait till they pull off and retrieve your items. With that kind of thing going on, whereas though we are creating a culture of people who will no longer deal with humans on any level, we stand to face some things that are going to come up for our younger generation, whereas though they don't have people skills. Case in point, I have a friend who had an issue with her cell phone bill. She wasn't getting anywhere through the app for her cell phone company. She wasn't getting anywhere on the phone with a person who I believe doesn't even reside here or does not even work for the United States because the language barrier was so thick. And so she has to go into the store. The store happens to be located in the mall. So I said, yeah, I'll meet you at the mall and we can figure this out at the store. So her being my age, I'm thinking she has the same people skills I do. I go in another store. She comes and finds me in the other store and says that she gets nowhere with the person in the store. I said, what did you tell them? I told them that they needed to fix my bill. It just wasn't right. I said, did you tell them what wasn't right? Well, I told her something wasn't right. She didn't pull it up and look at it or anything. I said, no, you have to effectually communicate for yourself. And so we go back in the store and I introduce myself. And I start communicating with the store person. And the store person says, the sales rep says, well, why didn't she just say that when she came in here? This is happening now in my generation. The younger generation is going to have many, many more instances where we cannot or they cannot adequately speak for themselves because they just don't have the skills to do so. Why? Because we've dehumanized everything and put everything onto technology. We're going to go to the lines. We do have 3 lines available if you want to call in. Number is 410-481-1010, 410-481-1010. We're going to pick up with Dante. Dante, you're on Face the Facts. Good morning.
Good morning, Ms. Vaughn. How you guys doing today?
Doing pretty good. How are you?
Good. So I hate to harp on like this thought of everything is kind of like racial and so on and so forth, but in a way, the artificial intelligence goes hand in hand with the thing I always tell and say about the algorithm. So that kind of like how they see what you do. Facebook knows what kind of food you order, even to the point of phone conversations you've had before. You might look back at your Facebook feed and then you'll be able to see kind of what you talked about in a prior conversation. And it's like, how in the world did they know? It's because they basically have voice recognition. Sprint had that out years ago. But these things are assisting in keeping the African American community in complacent and stagnant. Besides, basically, when I look at my feed, it pulls up stuff like, stocks, cars, the things that I'm involved with because I don't look at girls twerking and so on and so forth. So I'm always looking at something a little bit more like,
Girls twerking.
How can I make $1 million today outside of the little scheme? So my feed will show something different when I look at it. But the average guy or the average lady that looks at that type of stuff, their feed keeps them already preoccupied for a good hour and a half, which is usually the amount of time that you have to even look at the phone. So, you think you're going to get enough for 5 or 10 minutes and like, let me look at this real quick. Meanwhile, you start looking at other stupid stuff because it continuously shows more things that will preoccupy your mind, like I said, girls or maybe cars or whatever it is, but it doesn't give us the opportunity to look at things that will give us the idea of how to advance our community, advance our lives, like I said, investments in different ways, jobs, for example. The average kid nowadays doesn't even know how to really fill out an application online. They get frustrated because, like you said, it causes them not to be able to communicate. They think they just have to fill out a piece of paper and go into a job and say, hey, I just want a job. It don't work like that. Go to this website, fill out the application. But now the applications are so borderline complicated for a person that doesn't understand that basic stuff that it causes them to not do it. So, most people aren't even filling out applications anymore. That's why the work population is decreasing so much. Nobody wants to fill out an application because it's so complicated, quote unquote. So it just breaks my heart to think about that, how what you just said makes a lot of sense. When we don't talk about that type of stuff, that algorithm is really destroying our community because we don't know, we can't figure out anything else. And I do it myself too sometimes, but the reality is it controls your way of thinking. It controls the person you're thinking about, how can I get ahead? You're thinking about how can I go to this party? How can I figure out, oh my God, look at that girl. Oh my God, look at that car. You know what I mean? And you don't even have the money to get that car or that girl, for God's sake. So you're stagnated. And now you're confused. Now you're depressed. Now, that's why I say that the internet is depressing young 16-year-olds. It's depressing 35-year-old men. So, and women. So I know so many women that are now just like, I just feel like I don't have anything. Like, you got a BMW and your own place. Like, how could you be depressed? But they are, And it's because of the internet. Nobody's happy with their life because they're looking at another person's life.
Well, yeah, you're on point. Yes, sir. Thank you so much for calling in today. All righty. You too. Bye-bye. Let's hear what Lady B has to say. Lady B, you're on Face the Facts. Good morning.
Good morning, Abby. Good morning, young lady. How are you this lovely day? And good morning, WOLB family. As usual, your topic is always on point, and everybody's kind of lining up with all of the reasons that the internet is not so great. And then you have to remember that we use things and we use them, and they're put in front of us as distractions. As Bill said, when I noticed this too, when the auto checkout out came, and we've become this instantaneous society. Nobody wants to wait in line, and everybody has to be first. And it also caused what you've mentioned, the separation. Our kids won't know how to interact with people because that communication and that practicing of interaction is gone. We don't fight for customer service anymore. You look at a person having a phone bill problem. I remember when you could walk into an office and address your issues with BG&E, the phone company, and many other entities, and be able to address it with a person and get your issues resolved. So the internet came along and they cut all of those services out. So it is intentional. It is a separation of people, and mostly us, because we get distracted the most because we have the least. Some of us believe we have the least. If we would stop focusing on the material things that we have been brainwashed into believing that are good and riches, and focus on the real things in life that we used to focus on, which is each other, and know that we are the richest as a community, we would be so distracted. So all of it's intentional. And yes, they do collect that information, and that, as everybody says, it helps create that algorithm of what you're seeing and what your friends see too, because they don't only collect your information, they look at your friends' list and what your friends are posting. So it's something that we should really, really pay close attention to. I just heard on one of the morning shows that the average American spends 11 hours a week on a screen, and that's the average.
Jesus.
So you know those who are really intense. The more time looking at the screen and ticking on, trying to make sure somebody likes what they post. And those are hours that you wasted. And I'm going to say this on the air again, maybe somebody will hear me. There are two things that are not refundable: time and life. Have a blessed day, people. Distracted.
Thank you. Good words. Good words. Good advice. I love it. Michael from Facebook Live said, when talking about progress, there's always been and there will always be those who doubt it for whatever reasons. But no matter how one sees or looks at progression, it is absolutely necessary in growth, which has led us all to where we find ourselves today, deeply into a technology called social media, which, by the way, is virtual. And so, be it through home or through schooling of our children, it is here, and it is part of growth. And just like at any time of growth, you either do that or simply, goodness, I don't hear the rest of what he was saying. What'd you say? Perish. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Michael, for that. I love it. Listen, we're going to take a brief break. I did get a message from someone who wanted to know, okay, so everyone knows I'm on the Larry Young Morning Show. Shout out to Larry Young. I'm usually on there Tuesdays. I might be starting to come in Mondays, maybe even Fridays. So pray my strength, because that's an early call on a regular. But sometimes I'm asked on the show what my topic will be for this show. And a lot of times I will announce a topic and then get down to show day and have to do a different topic. Why? I'm glad that you didn't ask. I am noticing that once I announce what my topic will be, I am hearing it on other shows, whether it be internet podcast shows or whether it be shows, customized shows. I'm hearing my topic out there. And I know y'all heard me on the Larry Young Morning Show say it. And so by the time I get down to my show on Thursdays, I'm having to flip my topic matter. So it's not that I can't stick to the topic I said I was going to be doing. It's that some of y'all ain't right and you stealing my topic. Please go back, be original, and do the work. Listen, we're going to take a brief break. Thank you for everyone who is holding on the lines. Please hold on. You know this break is going to be brief. This is Face the Facts with Kelly Vaughn on 1010 WOLB. They be stealing my stuff.
WOLB Baltimore and WERQ FM HD3 Baltimore.
Oh, hey, Sister Barbara.
Radio station, Minority Control.
I'm telling you, Lady B, that's my new method. That's my new method. I'll be doing that.
Of the guests and hosts
Out of
you
control.
hear are not necessarily those of the staff and management of Radio 1, its sponsors, or advertisers.
All right, and we're back. I told you it would be a brief break. This is Face the Facts with Kelly Vaughn. And today we're talking about artificial intelligence. It's been a great discussion. We've talked about how it came to be and what's going on currently. And we're talking about perhaps where it will go in the future. And if I can, I'll get it in, or maybe one of the callers can bring up how this will affect the job market for our children. I want to go back to another comment on Facebook Live. This one comes from Dr. Ron. Says this new society has no social skills because of the lack of interpersonal relationship, and everything is technology. Deb says agreed. And also now the pandemic isn't helping. It makes folk communicate even less. And so I love that we are engaging in conversation about it, because I think it's absolutely pertinent to talk about it. Our children will be graduating from high school, entering the job market if they don't do it while they're already in high school, and jobs are being impacted by it. But one thing that we're not doing as a community, we are not entrenching our children in STEM programs. STEM programs are going to help us dramatically with this new technical environment, or as Brother Leo put it, with all the up and coming technocrats. It's going to help us tremendously, because the STEM program goes and it shows our children the inner workings of technology at a young age. And the younger that you get that kind of experience, the better. Listen, we're going to go back to the lines. Every line is clogged right now, but after I take this call, you can call in at 410-481-1010. That's 410-481-1010. And then we pick up with Mark C. Mark C, good morning. You're on Face the Facts.
Hey, man, sis, I'm glad you brought this topic up on technology, man. Technology is great, but like you said, we got children of a lot of ages, and you can
Thank you, Michael.
everything and all that kind of stuff. But
hey, Mom.
Kelly, I'm so glad that our youngest can have to interact with people. That's not good. Young, old, to not be able to interact with people, to sit there. You see two young people sitting there and texting each other. And think about this, Kelly. I was in the store, and the computer went down, and it shut the whole store down. A few years ago, Kelly, shut the whole city hall down, a ransomware. And it was $75,000 ransom, and Jack Young was thinking about paying it. Susan Dixon on this station said, Larry asked her, she said, I would pay it. He didn't, cost $18 million.
Jesus.
Kelly?
Instead of paying a $75K, because he wouldn't pay that, it cost the city $18 million. And we just had one with the health department that held up the actual reporting of our COVID numbers, and they just released yesterday that actually was a ransomware attack. So yeah, you're absolutely correct.
All right, so you have a good day. Lovely conversation and great show as usual.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. All right. Doc Cheatham, you're on Face the Facts with Kelly Vaughn. Good morning.
Love you, dear. Good morning. We love you, dear. To say that I got the nicest laugh that you call up or sneeze and you say, "Oh, COVID." I said that would be the funniest thing I've heard all morning. But I want you to know that we feel and know that you are our future and our tomorrow. You are doing excellently, my young lady. We need you to be our future. And what you are able to do is to actually train and teach the folks coming behind you and that are your same age. So we want to thank you. I just want to let you know I got the nicest laugh because you called for sneeze and said, "Oh, COVID." I said, "Oh, my goodness gracious." So you got it going on, girl. We love you to death. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, sir. And I'll make sure I disinfect real good before I leave here. All right. I'll see you later. Picking up with Charles. Charles, you are on Face the Facts. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, and
Praise
God,
God, everlasting Almighty.
for His
Yes, sir. You better praise Him.
Wondering, right, is do you know anybody that could teach our children? I'm trying to think, but so that if they're less dependent on the technology.
Oh, okay. Well, Brother Charles, that's a great question. Honestly, in my opinion, yeah, they're not gonna become less dependent. It's only gonna get more intense. Our job as parents is to get them above the curve, which means we need to start plugging to our children. Hey, have you thought about engineering and the inner workings of computers and building modules? And we really need to entrench them in some technological training. I give you a perfect example. When I was applying for jobs and I was a young struggling mother, I found that more jobs were available if you were able to be bilingual. If you could speak more than one language, there were way more positions that were available if you just had that skill. And so what I did with my two younger children is I put them in a bilingual school from the time they were in kindergarten all the way out of elementary. And right now they hate to do it. They hate when I ask them to do it. But right now they can fluently speak Spanish and English all at the same time. Two boys from East Baltimore. And when they hit the job market, that is an edge that they have over any other person in competition with them for a position. And so in the same way, that's what we have to start doing with these technological advances that are coming up. We have to look at the job market for those who actually operate those things and say, okay, have you thought about being an engineer? What about being a service desk coordinator? Those are the kind of things that we need to do.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. Right, and I could see you as mayor, governor, and president one day.
Thank you, sir, and I appreciate you so much. Yeah, that's a big task, but we'll see how close I can get to that. We're gonna go over to the lines and pick up with Brother Carlos. Brother Carlos, you on Face the Facts? Good morning.
Good morning, my sister. How are you today?
Doing pretty good. How are you?
Blessed,
Called
and highly
parenting.
favored, and Happy New Year to everybody. I wanted to just chime in on this subject about our children and their engagement in STEM programs and so forth. And I'm not bragging or anything like that, but I've had the pleasure of running a STEM program through my church because we try to keep the kids enlightened. And
Brother Carlos, plug that program. Plug it. Go ahead and announce your program. I want people to know about it.
My local church, which is down in Charles County.
Okay.
It's through my church called the Lighthouse.
No, it says Bijou. It says Bijou.
But here's the most amazing thing that I found out, and I want brothers and sisters to be aware that when you're talking to the younger generation, many of them do not know what STEM means or what it's all about. You have to define in the simplest terms what that acronym STEM means: science, technology, engineering, and math.
Yeah.
You have to define that. And on many occasions, as I said, and the way I handled it is I had incentives. I like, for example, I might give them $5 prizes or other type of educational prizes based on their answers. And when you ask them the question, what STEM means you get a kind of befuddling look, and many of them don't understand. So we have to start from the simplest dynamics, and that teach them what the basics of STEM education is. Define it to them, and then connect it to how it can enhance their future.
He was saying to define the acronym
and
first.
Education and so forth. So, and the other question that one of the questions I asked was, who won the National Spelling Bee program? And do they know anything about the person who happens to be black, the young lady from Louisiana? And many of them had not heard of the young lady or got the information through the television, media, and so forth about, who this person is. So this is how we have to, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, we have to make it relevant, and define it in the very basic terms, just like reading, arithmetic, spelling, the fine things, the basic things that you have to do to enhance your education. We also have to do that in terms of defining what STEM is all about. So I appreciate you taking my call, and I appreciate all the contributions that your listening audience have made. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brother Carlos. Have a good one. Gonna pick up with Sherry. Sherry, you're on Face the Facts. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Miss Kelly. I need a doctor.
Hi, Sean. So the doctor is on Facebook Live right now, but I'm going to contact the doctor because I need him to come in with me next week.
You talking about the one I've been talking about, Dr. Ron?
Yes, Dr. Ron Howe. He's on Facebook Live right now, but I'm going to check his schedule and get him in here next week. I didn't have time to get it done this week.
Very good. At least I know he's okay, because I
Right.
Kelly, I need to ask you a question.
Okay, I'm here for it.
This modern technology, you're going to have to help me out. I know you are. Are you familiar with Cash App?
I am.
Explain that to me, because a lot of places you go to the hairdresser, they want you to use cash. Honey, I don't do no Cash App. My niece had did the Cash App for me and left it on my phone. Do they link that up to your bank account?
So, yes, they do, or they don't have to. It works two ways. So Cash App is a person-to-person money platform where you can send and receive money. They have their own Cash App prepaid card that they can send you, where you don't have to link it up to a bank account. A lot of people who don't, not no more. Sean was saying you gotta link it to your bank account, but not anymore, because they provide you with a card, so you can go off of their card, or you can actually link it up to your bank account, send money, receive money. Yeah, it's just a person platform, just like Zelle and PayPal and some other ones.
Yeah, but I had to do it for my niece one time. She put it on because she needed something. But it was on my phone for about 6 months. So you're telling me if I lost my phone, somebody could have picked my phone up and just put in dollar amounts and sent it to them?
Correct. Especially if you don't have a password on that thing. Yeah, that's why you gotta.
I uninstalled it off of my phone when I had this conversation at the beginning of the week, and they say I just can't uninstall it like that. Navigate through other stuff.
I don't know about all that, but
they know I'm running cash and card or write a check. That Cash App, don't get yourself in no trouble. Young people, y'all know how to do that stuff.
No, you don't have to. It's an option.
Thank you, Kelly.
It's an option.
Kelly, tell the doctor.
It's a business account.
You got me stressed out already. Right. I need the doctor.
Oh, well, absolutely. I will let him know he's listening. Thank you so much, Miss Sherry. It's all right. It's all right, Miss Sherry. Breathe. Bye. sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I thought she was about to hyperventilate. I'm worried about her. Sean, do we have Miss Sherry number? I'm gonna have to hit her up after the show and make sure she all right. She said, "Oh Lord, God, I can't." I'm not laughing at her pain. I just was like, "Whoa, Miss Sherry." Listen, Dr. Ron, you heard it. So I will be calling you. And Miss Sherry, Dr. Ron said to calm down. We might need to talk about anxiety next week, or coping mechanisms. Uh, I love the Face the Facts family because you guys give me life each and every week. But when we're talking about, I mean, I'm so glad that we're digging into this and we're talking about it. Cash App and person to person giving platforms is yet another way that instantaneously you can send and receive money. All of this is artificial intelligence. Okay, all of this is under that same umbrella. I'm gonna take a call from Diane. Diane, you're on Face the Facts. Good morning.
And good morning, Miss Kelly. How you doing?
Doing great. How are you?
And Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
Yes. Oh, you know what? When you was talking about the children, parents have a responsibility how much screen time their children should have. And you need to give them a break. And also they have to have some outdoor activities, even if it's just for 1 or 2 minutes. Go outside and get some fresh air. We create what we create.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not just talking about African American parents.
Right.
I'm talking about all parents.
All parents.
Because you see in those little small towns how they can get a gun and kill somebody. Because they look at those, they have those video games.
Right.
A lot of the white children have, and not all, but they have those violent video games. And you continue to watch that. That's feeding your mind. And it's telling you stuff. And I hate to say, be a conspiracy, but it gets in your brain and it makes you act on it.
Mm-hmm.
You're thinking somebody after you. Everybody's after you. Nobody's really after you. But it's a psychological thing. So that's why I say as parents and grandparents, we need, if our grandchildren come over our house, we need them to give them screen time. And you got to get off the screen time and do something else. Have a conversation with your children and your grandchildren. Find out how their day is and how they feel, because sometimes they wake up depressed, Miss Kelly, and we don't even know it.
Yeah.
But we say, oh, go get on your tablet, go get on your computer or something like that. No, find out how they really actually feel. So sometimes they just want to talk to you, but we get so busy, we say we busy, and sometimes we are really not busy.
She loves you, Ron.
We gotta, even us, we got to put down our cell phones and stuff, because I've been in a restaurant, Miss Kelly, where I've seen people, you there with your family, but you on your cell phone. Put your cell phone away and have a decent dinner or lunch with your family.
That's so right.
Whoever is on that thing can wait. The same people in there, they're gonna be in there 2 hours later.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sometimes we gotta set the standard for our children, because they are here for us to teach them. They was brought here for us to teach them, and we learn from them. If people believe that, a lot of people don't believe. You can learn a lot from children and teenagers. But we say, oh, we the parents, and we know what, but sometimes you got to listen. And, when you was talking about the intelligence thing, we got to make sure that our children know what it is and know how to work it and not have people playing on them. Because that's how children get kidnapped and stuff like that, because their parents don't know what they're doing online. And it's predators online.
Uh-huh. Yep. You're absolutely correct. I love what you said, and I kind of implemented that this year with my children. This was actually the first Christmas where I did not have to buy and did not buy. I didn't have to. I didn't feel forced to. I didn't feel like I had nothing else to buy. Anything that was electronic except for something that they could take outside. So I bought my kids drone helicopters this year. It's an electronic, but you take it outside and you're navigating it, you're flying, you can take it up in the air, attach your cell phone to it, take cool pictures of aerial views. My kids asked for instruments this year. One wanted a harp. I don't know what he gonna do with that. And one wanted acoustic guitar. The other one wanted everything sports. That meant I had to buy soccer balls. Absolutely.
Because the latest thing on the market. I want my child to have it. But like when I said you have a conversation with your children, because your children do know. Sometimes we don't give them enough credit. And I have a 16-year-old grandson, and I sit there and listen. He'll call me, and sometimes I miss his call, but I call him back. And, he'd be telling me some stuff. He'd be teaching me stuff. And for the older people, when the library opened back up, take some free computer classes. There's no way that we should not be. Before the pandemic, I was going to the classes. I was going to the ones around the library around here, the Enterprise, the one out there on Eastern Avenue. I was taking classes out there. They were free of charge. You didn't have to pay for them. You didn't have to take out a student loan or anything. You learn computers, things there.
Well, thank you, Miss Diane. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. Thank you so much. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Let's get Brother Leo back in here. Brother Leo, what's going on? One second, fam. So, someone called in would like the address for the vaccinations that will take place on Saturday, January 29th, from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And thank you for calling back in while we're on air so I can give it to you. It's going to take place at Ark Church. Ark Church, that's located at 1263 East North Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland, 21202. I'll say it one more time. Ark Church, 1263 East North Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland, 21202. My pastor and father is very fine, Bishop J.L. Carter. Nobody asked me that, but I just figured I would do that because I'm churchy. Brother Leo, come on back in here. What's going on?
Sister Kelly Vaughn, just a quick footnote, and that is that the question I'm posing is how do we prevent technology and artificial intelligence from being used as an instrument of abuse or exploitation? Justice must be the order of the day. We must maintain justice. And I'm saying to you that speaking as a senior citizen, I may not want to check out. I may not be able to check myself out and at a supermarket. And if I'm not given that opportunity, then I'm being abused and boxed in. And maybe I'm an activist enough to walk a picket line in front of that supermarket and call for a boycott of that supermarket chain until such time as I'm respected.
That ain't going down.
There'll be enough live people for me to interact with to justify my spending my money, my hard-earned money, or my social security.
Gotta go to an old neighborhood market.
That particular establishment. So that's all I want to say. STEM is magnificent. STEM is wonderful.
It is.
But there has to be accountability. There has to be justice when you're talking about the implementation of STEM.
I'd take the other one.
Just go along blindly and say, well, that's the way it is. Well, no, it's got to be fair. And if it's not fair and equitable, you still have a right to exercise your First Amendment right, as well as legal redress if it comes to that. Thank you for giving me a second shot.
No problem. Listen, fam, and I'm gonna get back to what Brother Leo was saying, but I made a caution. I made a mistake. The vaccination clinic is not from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. The vaccination clinic is from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Still at Ark Church, 1263 East North Avenue. But the time is 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. I'm used to us doing it between 9 and 12, so I do apologize for the wrong information. Same date, January the 29th, but the time is now 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. To what Brother Leo was talking about, these supermarket chains are saving entirely way too much money by having these machines. And if we boycotted and picketed all day and night, it still wouldn't make them change their mind because of the amount of money that they save by not even having to employ a human, and can get a lot more people out The machines work faster than people do, which is sad. It is very sad, because we should never be in a predicament where speed outweighs the human experience. And yet, here we are. And this is in every facet of life. Right now, we have a Baltimore mayor who refuses to open City Hall. Shout out to Bill Gooden and his work with that initiative, and all those that work with him. But right now, we have one who is unapologetically not opening City Hall. And what Bill Gooden says is true, is that, yes, the stadiums are packed to capacity. People are going to concerts. The clubs are open. Shout out to Club Safari. We're doing everything everywhere else. We're crowding out Walmarts. We're doing Targets and all of that, but we can't open our City Hall. Well, to that effect, he also put city services on virtual this past Monday. So as of Monday, January the 10th, 2022, they have now, you can't go down to the municipal building. That was open. Now it's closed back down for in-person services. And so, family, I guess the whole point of this show is for us to know about it, to talk about it, to prepare ourselves for what is to come, to prepare our children for what is to come. This is probably a conversation that should have happened a good decade ago. Yet here we are, and better late than never is what I say. So we're having this conversation, and I want you guys to take this information, and whatever your action is going to be, whether you decide, okay, until they put more people in person at checkout stands, I'm not supporting this store. Or if it is that, okay, I really need to sit my grandkids down and talk to them about their screen time. Thank you, Miss Diane, for bringing that up. Whether it is about preparing your children, enrolling them in a STEM program, a science, technology, engineering, and math program that will better prepare them to deal with the job market that they eventually are going to have to go out into. Whether it be talking to someone who is a freshman in high school right now about maybe considering another major that will put them at an advantage in this day and age. Whatever you do, make sure that you are facing the fact that artificial intelligence is here. It's here to stay. And we've got to put ourselves in a position where we are not taken out by computers. This has been Face the Facts. I'm Kelly Vaughn. I'm your host. Thank you guys so much for tuning in at www.wolbbaltimore.com. Thank you guys for Facebook Live. I love you guys so very much. We're going to have some more topics and discussions to talk about in the weeks to come, but we're starting this year off right. Shout out to my boy, Sean. He's the best in the business. I wouldn't even tell you no lies about him, for real. Real life. Thank you so much, and we will see you right here on 1010 WOLB next Thursday at 10:30 a.m. for Face the Facts. Peace, family. I'll be calling you this week, Ron, because, the masses have requested your presence. Jesus. Come on.
Sherry was the one that called in last time. I got her number, and I'm gonna help her disconnect her bank account.
Oh yes, she hadn't done that yet.
She just deleted it off the phone without disconnecting her bank account. I got options.
Okay.
That's what she was. That's why she saw hyperventilating.
She saw hyperventilating and going through. Oh, Miss Sherry is gonna be all right because the team at Face to Face is not gonna let her fall. Thank you guys so much. Sean has Miss Sherry, and he's gonna call her and get with her and make sure she's good and she's taken care of. So we got Miss Sherry covered, y'all. That's what we do over here. We try to help. And thank you guys for tuning in. Tell a friend, share this on your Facebook pages if you can. Let people know that this is Black Talk Radio, and we're trying to make sure that we have good discussions with our community about the things that plague us as Black people. So Thank you guys again for tuning in. I am sanitizing this studio because there's a show coming up at 12 o'clock. It's with Doc Cheatham. It's right here on WOLB. It's called Soup and Salad with the Seniors, where they talk about important issues to seniors and they give out senior resources. So if you can, tune into that show. It's a great show. It's a wonderful show, and they really do. They bring their guests are very knowledgeable in what they talk about. So make sure that you guys set that up. I love you guys so very much. I'm out of here. I'm going to get me a slice of pizza and then I'm going to work. Peace out. God bless. They asked me to come around and see somebody before I leave here. I hope I don't get fired, Jesus. See y'all later.